In this video, we're going to go over converting a character field into an image field on our model. What brought this about was a long time ago, I started the GoDjango project and just use a character field to save time, and then would hard code the URLs to my images as I needed to. After a little while, this worked well, but created some process problems, and I eventually changed it. Well, I decided this time to go ahead and do a video on that conversion because it was actually fairly simple after I did a little research. In that vein, I created a basic project that has just one model and lets us actually visualize and see what we do. The things I've gone ahead and done is I've set up the media and static files like you do in a normal project, and I've covered in previous videos. So with that, if we look at our browser, you can see that we have a project that works. We have video 1, 2, and 3, and we have images showing up. If we'll go ahead and look at our admin, you can see we have a title for our video, and then we have our thumbnail URL of media episode 3, episode 2, episode 1, and then thumbnail.jpg or PNG. If we click on video 3, then you can see the thumbnail is just a character field like I said, and then we have title as our character field. The thing to note though in here is that I have episode hyphen and then a number for the episode number of that, and then thumbnail.png. Every image I have uses that, so the episode number is the namespacing that I use to differentiate what file to actually use. So that means in the media folder I have to have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, so on and so forth. This is good background to understand so we know how to deal with the path for our images. The other thing to think about is how is the data stored in the database between an image field and a character field. If we'll go ahead and look at the model, you can see again, we have thumbnail and title. It's a character field for both. If we look at our database, you can do a .schema to see the actual makeup of the database. And as you can see for home video, we have the thumbnail, which is a varchar of 255, and we have a title, which is a varchar of 255. So the thumbnail, as you can see, like we've shown over and over, is just text. We can actually go ahead and do a select from that and do our select all from home video and see we have the ID, we have the thumbnail, URL, and the video. So again, it's very hard coded as to what it is. So what's going to make this a little bit easier is the fact that we have our media files set up in a idiomatic Django way. So the media files start with media. So we don't have to worry about that. The only thing we have to worry about is episode -1 / thumbnail.png or JPEG. After doing research into what the image field does, all it does is it takes the image that you've uploaded, it saves it to a file system, and then it creates a full path in the database to that image. So when you go to get that image or select it, it just grabs data out of the database, goes to that path on the server, does a file open, and then returns that result. So since we're already doing full paths in our text field, the only thing we have to worry about is making sure that when the image field gets the data, it knows it's going to be in the right format. And if we'll open up our model again, move thumbnail down so we can work on it, we'll remove blank equals true, and then we'll add upload to equals episode dir. Episode dir is not going to be a string, it's actually going to be a function, which we'll write here in a second. Fortunately, the upload to keyword argument can take either a string or a callable or a function. And then all that function has to do is return a string that Django knows how to use to get the proper information. And then finally, we're going to convert car to image. We'll go above that and we'll create our new episode dir function. We're going to set an instance and a name for our parameters for this function. The instance is actually going to be the instance of the object we're using, and the name is going to be the name of the file. In this case, it's going to be thumbnail.png or JPEG. And then we're just going to return a string. In this case, we're going to do episode hyphen, and then we're going to use our format text for both of those. So it's going to return episode -1 / thumbnail.png. We're going to send our instance.id and name, so it builds that properly. Note here, we did not use media, and that's because Django by default looks for media. So with that, we're actually done dealing with setting up our image field and setting the proper name for it. If we'll go ahead and look at this in the browser, you can see it still works after a refresh. And if we'll look at it in our admin, you see our video 1, 2, and 3. We have our thumbnails with the same URLs. It looks suspiciously like we've done absolutely nothing, which is actually a good thing, and in my opinion shows the nice part about Django and how it works. If we'll go ahead and click on video 3, you can see, hey, we have thumbnail now, and you actually have a link to your image file. So if we were to click on that, we get to see the image file just fine. So with that, that's it. That's all there really is to converting a character field over to an image field and being able to use it properly. Now we could upload files like you would normally do on a website. The key to doing conversions like this is to understand what you have and understand what you're going to. And in this case, we have a character field and we're going to an image field, but at the very end of the day, that image field is just data in a database in a character field. So we're going from character field to character field. The only thing that really matters is how Django interprets that data and uses it.